Good evening, everyone. This is Darren Silvers, hentai and this is the Geek-Posium. And I, of course, have been spending the entire day practicing my ara ara.
And I'm Shep of Winning the War in Pants, and I've been also practicing my Ara. I think for the same reason. Which
I
we will.
really doubt it. I really doubt because I'm practicing for we're working on an improv panel.
Oh,
Whose anime is it?
Ara.
Whose anime is it anyway? And yeah,
Oh,
so
you stole our panel.
I improved it.
Probably.
Yeah,
We can't
probably.
act.
That's fine. I only need 3 of us to be able to act, and I only need
Oh, you're
an
acting.
audience member.
We got complete audience members, and it was a mess. But oh well.
We're gonna do both us and the audience members together. It'll be a
Oh,
little
cool.
better, a little
A
bit
little bit
better.
better. You have someone competent on stage.
I mean, yeah, the audience member.
I've been saying RR for a different reason.
Yeah, well, we're gonna.
Partially because as I'm listening to something that's happening at work, I can't go, oh, damn! But if I go, ara, they just go, oh, he's a weeb.
He's fine. He's listening to his strange Vocaloid people again. All right. What are we opening with?
Sad anime news.
Yes, the
Voice actress Yoshiko Ota passed away.
that's sad.
She was Kim of the White Lines, Leo, Princess Knight, Sapphire.
Oh wow, she's old school.
Old school.
Mm.
Aim for the Best, Doraemon, Ryu the Cave Boy.
Yeah, wow.
Old school.
That is
Also was the Japanese dub for Mary and Peter Pan and Vixie and Fox and the Hound.
Oh wow, like that's old. All right,
Old school.
wow. Well, I'm sad to see her go. I'm assuming she lived a very long life.
89.
Yeah, wow, that is impressive in Japanese.
Yes. Well,
Uh,
Japan has a record with 130, but still, that's impressive for any country.
most people die before hitting 80 in Japan.
Well, stress, overwork.
Stress, overwork. If they're not in the city, their conditions are terrible. If they are in the city and they aren't rich, their conditions are terrible. If they are rich, they are fine because they have all the resources in the world to burn. All right. It's very sad. I'm sorry to see her go, but I hope she lived a very, very long life, and we can always listen to her things.
She'll live on through her work.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's move on to something happier. What else? What else we got?
Sort of anime news, sort of a lead into video game news. Blue Reflection, Second Light.
Second Light
just came out.
Well, it's coming out tomorrow actually, but
excuse me.
If you've not already downloaded the demo, would highly suggest the demo. It's an interesting idea where a girl walks into her class, finds some other strange girl there, and then the girl drags her outside and finds out she's no longer in her school. She's in some random school in the middle of nowhere with nothing but ocean around her. And the only other thing there is this other strange land where demons exist. And you can fight the demons by transforming it into magical girls and fighting them off with scythes and guns and stuff.
This sounds fascinating.
It's a cute girls doing cute things, also trying to figure out who they are and why they're there.
Okay.
So
it's coming out for PC, Switch, and PS4.
It's just a Switch version, and if you have the Switch version, if you have a Switch right now, you can actually download the demo. You can do so. I would highly suggest. It is a lot of exposition when you play the demo. I'm very sorry. It's just lots of exposition. That's what you're gonna get. But the gameplay is fun and interesting, at least.
It doesn't have any spicy scenes in it, does it?
Does it? Or I don't know. No, the demo didn't really. I mean,
because the reason I ask is this Switch isn't going to have spicy scenes.
Probably not. We don't know.
PS4
will definitely not have
spicy will censor the non-spicy scenes because they're too spicy for Sony's Fifis.
PC, there's mods for that.
There's mods. There's a couple of games I've played on Switch, enjoyed the F out of. It's like, oh wait, This is actually an eroge. Buy on Steam. Mod.
I don't think it's an a eroge. Again, it's a bunch of girls who one girl remembers her past, the other girls don't remember anything beyond when the
Okay.
girl first arrived, and that was kind of it.
This
And it's
sort of sounds sort of kind of like, well, it's isekai-ish, but it kind of sort of,
it's some kind of isekai mental thriller.
yeah. And for whatever reason, it's kind of reminding me a little bit of Angel Beats, a little bit with more magical
Maybe,
girls.
maybe I couldn't tell you because again they fight off demons. I'm not sure if they're dead or not. I couldn't tell you.
It sounds like they're dead.
Who knows? Anyway, if you give yourself a chance, pick it up. Would highly suggest. It's not the greatest of looking scenes. It's very anime-ish. It's a very anime-ish game. It's very 3D modeled and anime girls, but it's a fun game, and it's again
Most 3D modeled anime games still look good. Still look good anyway now because cell shading.
true.
I mean, most cell shaded. I mean, the Old Republic still looks good even though it's 8 years old.
The Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic?
The Old Republic.
Okay, because Knights of the Old Republic looks terrible.
Knights of the Old Republic looks like ass. I still
Yeah.
play it, but it looks like ass.
That's because it's a great game to play. I'm gonna be sad if they mess with any of the combat in any way, shape, or form.
Well, they're gonna update the combat a little bit because the combat is clunky.
No, I love that
I'm
clunky
more-
combat.
I'm more of a story guy, but the cool thing about the combat in Knights of the Old Republic is it's an adaptation of the combat in Neverwinter Nights,
Exactly.
which means it's D&D 3.0, but computer.
Yep. Anyway,
That's great. I'm actually gonna force one of my players in my D&D 3.5 campaign to play Knights of the Old Republic and read the logs of what's happening as he plays, so he learns how to fucking play D&D 3.5.
Anyway, let's move on. What's next?
More video game news or video game industry news. Blizzard's co-leader quits after 3 months from Clownfish TV.
I'm pretty sure there's an article for that too. Let me look. Let me
You
pull up an actual.
you just sent me the YouTube video.
And
I can't say anything on it because he sent it to me 30 seconds before we started because I was in the shower.
That is a lie. I sent that to you days ago.
Well, I didn't see it until 30 seconds before we started.
I sent that to you.
Our chat's
Friday,
been moving.
Saturday.
Our chat's been moving fast.
Not. Well, our shit posting chat has. Clownfish TV. Blizzard quits.
Let's just say the memes for the past week have been real.
It is hilarious. Here you go. Here's an article. It'll help you out.
I gotta bring up Facebook again. Hold on.
Make your life easier. But yeah, so
insert Jeopardy music here.
Do. So this is
don't auto. Good, it didn't autoplay. That's good.
It doesn't autoplay. The Blizzard dumpster fire raged on. Jen O'Neill is parting ways with Blizzard after only 3 months.
Parting ways. Oh Lord.
Which is why it is hilarious, and I cannot help but laugh about it, just constantly. She cited reasons being diversity and inclusion. Diversity, inclusion, and what's the E word they use? Equity. So
not equality, equity.
Remember, she wants to die. Diversity, inclusion, equity. Die. Now the question is, and no one can really answer this, is did she quit? Did she fire? Was she fired? Did she just go, Blizzard's a lost cause. Why the hell am I here? Bye.
Well, it is a lost cause. I would have left, but
Blizzard at this point in time is run by the activists. You can't do anything there. People will cry and whine and and get you fired. So it's like, you know what? Why the hell would I want to be here? I'm out.
Yeah.
So she probably made the right choice, and she left while stating it's not diverse enough. There's not enough inclusion and equity. And I go, last time I checked, that Blizzard hired on, or at least their developers and everything else was hired on merit. And I don't care what your skin color is, just make Tracer go fast.
Pretty much.
I mean, really, I want to go fast. Um, and for love of God, stop flagging the porn.
But the porn doesn't feed into that inclusiveness and equity stuff.
Yes, it does. There's tons of lesbian and futa porn.
Hey, stop looking at my search history.
What else is there?
Oh, related to this.
Related to this?
Related to that last statement. I forgot about this.
What?
But we can't bring up the article. We can't bring up anything.
Okay.
Related to that last statement. Something amazing happened over the weekend.
What happened?
The Ruby board is the r/Ruby is no longer the most popular Ruby subreddit.
Did Crow Continuum finally beat them out?
No. Ruby NSFW passed them.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Just sure. Why not? But there's not enough Ruby NSFW.
Oh, there's a lot.
Animations. There's plenty of artwork.
There's tons. It's mostly art, but
I need animations, damn it.
There's a lot of animation, but a lot of it is
poorly
Fuda.
done. Yeah.
Poorly done Fuda.
I require a high quality tier animation of my Fuda.
Which is why you watch Overwatch.
Which is why I want the Overwatch ones. They're all high quality. All right, what's next? What's next?
Crap!
He dropped his mouse.
No, I dropped my keyboard and it turned the narrator on.
I can't hear you, so you're probably fine.
Can you hear me now?
No, I couldn't hear the narrator, so you're probably fine.
Okay. It turned the narrator on. It's like, oh, crap.
All right, what's next?
Video game news. All versions of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 to be temporarily removed from digital storefronts due to expiring licenses for historical archive footage.
I have a lot of things to say about this. And the most important ones is this because Metal Gear Solid 2 hit a little too close to home?
Maybe.
Are there not powerful elites controlling our government, our media, and our very ideas through advanced algorithmic data?
Maybe.
Oh, I'm not sure about 3, but 2 makes sense. I mean, I'm upset about this because I like 2 and 3. 2, of course, was the ongoing mindfuck of who the fuck is Raiden? Why am I playing him?
Who the F is this guy?
Followed by the ongoing mindfuck of the game telling you that you died while you're still playing.
Fish and mailed.
That killed me more than once. So I'm like, I'm dead. Fuck. And I'd like throw my controller across and I see myself still playing. I go, wait a minute.
It's even worse. If you have a Sony TV from the era that 2 came out in, it actually, they simulate the menu for like the TV turning off.
You're joking. Oh, that's much worse.
It gets worse.
Oh, no. Anyway. So I can't tell if this is because of some unfortunateness.
It's because they had a limited license. Like, they probably thought, oh, it's a 20-year license. We don't need to worry about this. And then no one's going to be playing this game in 20 years. And
can Kojima buy it?
What do you mean, Kojima buy Metal Gear Solid, the franchise?
The licenses for those.
Do you mean games? Kojima or Konami?
Kojima.
I mean, Is Konami selling them?
I don't know.
I mean, everything's for sale, but does Kojima have the money?
Does Kojima have the capital? That's a better question. Yeah.
Number one. And number two, it's not the license for the games, it's the license for the
Publishing
footage in the game.
Okay, never mind.
So it's footage in the games that they had a license for, and so they put it in the game.
Right. And
those ran out. Those ran out on Konami. So the game itself is one thing, but it includes material that they license. So
gotcha. Okay. All right.
It's the same thing about why they cut out Fly Me to the Moon in the US releases of Evangelion.
I don't care why they did it. They're dicks for doing it. Anyway, let's move on. What's
and
next?
that song should be in the goddamn public domain anyway. It's a 70-year-old song.
How is it not?
I don't know. Well, there was a copyright forever on Happy Birthday. That finally got canceled.
And then again, there's copyright on Superman still. Moving on.
I'm rolling my eyes. Moving on. Image Comics is refusing to voluntarily reorganize its workers' new union. Or recognize its new union.
This is hilarious. So let's go over the facts here. First of all, Image Comics is an offshoot of a bunch of Marvel comic creators who didn't like the fact that Marvel was taking their IP and a lot of their money and wasn't paying them very well. So they made their own comic brand, Image Comics, so they could be paid fairly for their work and properly get their stuff out there while still maintaining the intellectual property rights of their own characters. With that being said, the union is not creatives.
I didn't realize the union was not creatives.
The union is not of creatives. The union is just of the office workers.
Oh.
So, anyone who sits there and tells me it's about making sure creatives get paid more. No, it's for making sure that the people who sit in the office and take orders.
Okay, I see now that it's the office staff.
Yes. So the office staff is trying to take money from the creatives so that they can be whatever. So, no, this is about screwing over the people who make the property so that you can get a better idea or a better deal. And you know what? If you don't, comics is not something you go into because you want to get paid well. Comics is something you do out of passion.
This isn't the 90s.
This is not the 90s. This isn't even the early 2000s. All right. I don't care how much you sit there and tell me, well, the movies are not the comics.
They're not the comics. They're
two different
an
things.
IP farm for the comics.
They are two different things.
They're a massively underpaid IP farm for the movies.
Okay, it's like someone sitting there telling me, well, I work for a tire company, so obviously I know how to go and fix a Miata engine. I go, that's not how that works.
That's not how it works.
That's not how any of that works. So don't.
I work for GM. I work for GM. I work in the mailroom. I know how to fix your car.
Yeah,
I can design you a car. No, you can't.
No,
that's
you can't.
An engineer.
It's an entirely different thing. So first, that's the one thing that people are completely this misconstruing.
Now, do the comics come out without the office workers? Well, in the past you would have said no, but goes on Indiegogo, goes on Kickstarter. They can come out without these companies and their organizations.
Also, Image Comics doesn't run the same way as Marvel or DC. So a lot of these office workers, they aren't really necessary. With DC and Marvel, you have editors and you have other people who make decisions about overarching stories and cross stories and stuff like that. Image doesn't have that. Image Comics is you send them a full completed comic story and they approve it or they deny it.
I know some of their comics have crossovers, but the person you keep control of your characters and you keep control of your story. So exactly. They're like you can have like someone cross over into your comic, someone else's character cross over to your comic with their permission, but it doesn't necessarily affect the universes.
Exactly. Also, again, these are completely finished comics, as in the guy's already written it all out. He's already drawn it all. It's already done. It's all done. All he's giving you is the files. All you have to do is send it to the printer and send it off to the distributor. That is your job. as a office worker at Image. There's no editing involved. They have their own editors. They have their own staff. I hate to go and tell you this, but to the office workers union, you're worthless. You are easily replaceable. The fact that you think you need a union to be not replaceable means you're full of it.
Now, if this was DC or Marvel, their office workers unionizing, that would be slightly different, except good luck. That's Warner Brothers and Marvel dealing with.
I would love to watch as Warner Brothers and Disney sit there and go, we can just send these comics to a different country that doesn't have unions, so fuck off.
Yeah.
Bye. You're unnecessary.
Disney has proven before that it likes to work with the manga industry.
Disney has ideas of making anime right now.
I mean, they just released an anime anthology.
I'm confused and hurt by that, but yes. Like I saw that, I'm like, I'm confused and hurt.
Well, are you talking about the Star Wars anthology or anime anthology or a different anthology?
Different anthology. Anyway,
or are you talking about the Cracker Barrel Kingdom Hearts comic?
Yes.
Manga.
Yeah, I was confused and hurt by it.
Because that's like three different worlds colliding in the most what?
For those of you who don't know, that was from last week's episode about Disney and Cracker Barrel and their Marvel
releasing a Kingdom
Hearts manga. So again, completely unnecessary. So I'd love to see that you guys go and try. Go ahead and do it. It'll be funny to watch. So you go, well, we will not watch Disney. No, you won't.
No, you won't.
No, you won't. You can't. You won't. You're too lazy. I did it. It's not easy, but I did it.
Unfortunately, Disney has ESPN, and I watch hockey.
I listen to hockey via the radio, the internet radio. That's how I get around it. I listen to all my sports via the radio now. Internet radio. It's the only way I can get around it. Anyway, so those of you who's at their talent talking to me about what Image did before, you're wrong. First of all, okay, it is pure capitalism as to why they exist. 1, 2, it's not the creatives. It's the office workers who are trying to start a union. And 3, and this is the most important part, they have no rights at all to be asking more from their creatives, a cut of their income. No. Okay, Image is just one big umbrella brand that you publish your comics under. They aren't necessary. They are not necessary. Okay, if Robert Kirkman and Todd McFarlane left, done. Goodbye. And I say this because McFarlane Toys.
Yeah, McFarlane doesn't need as someone who owns multiple McFarlane toys.
Yeah,
McFarlane doesn't need Image Comics.
Image Comics needs McFarlane.
Yeah.
Image Comic needs Kirkman. It doesn't work the other way around. So stop that nonsense, first of all. And again, your union idea only works in a stable, good economy where everyone's making a lot of money.
When you have a good economy and you have leverage.
And you know what you don't got?
You don't have leverage, and it's a shit economy.
Yeah. So what's next?
And it is a shit economy. Oh, inflation is good. The stock market's great. Have you paid gas? Are you able to buy more stuff? No, you're not.
I'm buying less shit every day. Moving on.
Next, another article from Clownfish TV. The death threats were fake in regards to Superman.
This is hilarious. So DC Comics creators were reportedly getting death threats over the bisexual Superman thing. And this is funny because, one, I heard this originally on Facebook from a friend who works in New York City with some call center thing. She doesn't work with the call center. She works as like the accountant of the call center. So she heard that someone else said that they were getting death threats for DC Comics. And I'm like, that's like hearsay. But okay.
That's like 3 levels of hearsay.
Okay, tell me more. And and I'm like, okay, well, tell me more. Well, this, they're upset that Superman's gay. I go, no one really cares. I'll be
No
honest
one
with you.
cares.
I'll be honest, like as someone who is an avid comic person, who's a part of comic Twitter and comic Facebook and comic this, that, and the other stuff, comic minds, comic federator, comic Mastodon, comic Tumblr.
I was
Not
on Comics Mastodon, but unfortunately my Mastodon account was through Gab. So I'm banned from everything.
comic Gab.
Except all that's also been yeeted off Gab because they're run by a dipshit.
Oh yeah, that's why I haven't been a comic Gab in a while, because all that's on there is like Christian Man and God Boy.
Fucking Torba.
Anyway,
I support free speech. Everything you like is banned because I am Torba. It's not free speech if I don't like it. Fuck you.
oh, so you're telling me the left and the right are the exact same person? You don't say. You don't fucking say. Anyway.
Anyways,
So I heard, that was originally what I heard from this, and then of course a bunch of articles came out and blah blah blah, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at they're threatening over Superman." Well, the LAPD looked into it, and
and it was all bullshit.
it was all bullshit. They were all death threats made from the same person themselves. Creators were calling death threats on themselves.
Yes.
And this is hilarious to me, because one, no one cared about Superman being gay. In fact, no one gave a fuck about Superman in general.
Has anyone given a fuck about Superman in 30
the
years?
last, I mean, I did a little bit.
You're a DC fan, though.
Not really. I'm just a Superman fan.
Oh,
Like,
you were a Superman fan.
I was a Superman fan, and then after Superman Doomsday, it just got worse. And I went, nah, I'm good. Like the good parts about Superman is he's always that hopeful optimist, but people kept doing the what if we made Superman go bad?
What if we broke Superman?
And
No.
I'm like, okay, it's been done three times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7
No,
times.
no.
If you guys break Superman every other month, does it really matter anymore?
It doesn't matter. If you want a broken hero, you have Batman.
You have Batman, you have Red Hood, you have the entire Bat family.
Yeah.
Go
you have
that.
Gotham. You don't need to break Metropolis's golden boy. Unless you really mean it. It's like the freaking Star Trek movies. Every other Star Trek movie, they destroy the goddamn Enterprise. You do not need to destroy the Enterprise every movie, Paramount.
Yeah, that's an.
You do not need to. You do not need to keep destroying the hero ship. Eventually, it's just like, oh, they'll pump out another one. They'll have a identical replacement next week.
That makes no damn sense, and I cannot stand that they keep doing this. Like, just let it go. And so of course when they're like, oh, look, Superman's gay, we all went, okay. And like no one cared. Now everyone's like, are you gonna watch it? Now you gonna read it? Now you gonna read it?
I mean, it was also like, Superman's gay. You mean he wasn't already?
I mean, have you seen his hair and those tights? Really?
He's way too dreamy to be straight.
And then there was the everyone's of course making jokes. But no one actually cared, and all of us kind of went, are you going to read it? No. Are you going to read it? No. Cool. No. And then we all just kind of called it a day. Things I liked out of the Superman series was the Superboy and Robin series, where they were both little kids having little kid adventures, but also being like sidekicks and spending time with their dads and stuff. Like, that was wholesome and good. I liked it. It was very well written, very well done. I liked the Superman series during that time frame. It was very well done, very well written. But again, this is Superman. This is John Kent. This isn't Clark Kent. This is his son.
Yeah, it's not Clark Kent.
And they always got to do something weird with Superboy. But usually it's, I'm a murderous asshole and I'm going to kill everyone and everything that I love. That's normally where they go with this. This time they went, okay, we're gonna give him a gay boyfriend. And I went, oh no, he's gonna kill the gay guy. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh god.
But then they turned around and went, oh no, the gay kid also has powers. He's intangible, so he can never be hurt unless unless he can never be hurt. And I went,
So he's
oh,
he's the perfect boyfriend for Superboy who tends to murder everything he loves.
yeah. So you're telling me that this gay character can never be harmed in any way, shape, or form, so there's no tension at all. Wow. At least Lois Lane, there was a chance of her dying.
Yeah, there was always the chance. You knew that Superman was going to come through and save her, but
99%.
there was always that chance. There was always that chance.
There was that 1% chance Joker kills Lois Lane. Or Joker
or Lex Luthor.
No, it's always Joker. Joker makes Superman kill Lois Lane. And that's how Injustice started. Literally, he like threw her into space.
I actually remember that now.
Yeah. And then he like comes down and just kills Joker. No second thoughts.
Boom.
Goodbye.
Kill is linked to humanity.
Yeah, good job. Now he has no link to humanity. Humanity needs to be stopped.
Wasn't there like a spin-off or a prequel or a spin-off where Joker then stole Superman's powers?
I don't remember that. Maybe.
And he immediately tried to use it to kill the Batman, but because of how Joker exists, Bruce Wayne kept coming back. Because Joker can't exist without the Batman, and the Batman can't exist without Joker.
I don't remember, honestly. That sounds like a weird fanfic. It might be a recent comic book. That's how most comic books are scheming nowadays. I'm just like, this is just someone's fanfic, and they just decided to add.
I've read fanfic that reads better than most comics these days.
That's where I am with most comics these days. It is just an ongoing issue. Oh,
I was like, I need to grow up and stop reading fanfic, and then I actually started reading mainstream shit. It's like, no, the better writers are doing this for fun because they care.
Exactly, that's an ongoing issue. Oh, I'm really angry. About this whole dang thing, because if your comic book isn't very good and the only way that you can possibly get any semblance of traction on it is to lie and say people are threatening you, why are you here? No. Maybe you should tell people how excited you are about making your comic.
Yeah.
Give us some preview stills. Give us something good and interesting. Give us something that sounds fun. Not, look, he's gay. Okay, cool. What does he do? Is he like fighting things? Who's the main bad guy?
In wrestling, they call this sort of thing hot shotting. You do all this crazy stuff both in the ring and outside of the ring to get either sympathy dollars or to get like, oh my god, this happened. But eventually your fan base gets pissed off and it kills your business.
Yeah.
That's why wrestling almost died after the Monday Night Wars, because both WCW and the WWF were hot-shotting to hell because they were at war.
Yep.
Sometimes you do need a hot shot to survive in your creative ongoing
but
creative
you
enterprise.
still need the basic hero's journey.
You still need the basic hero's journey, and eventually the hot-shotting must stop before you kill the business.
But here in Comic Land, they've yet to learn that.
They keep hot-shotting in one way or the other, and they've abandoned the hero's journey.
And
they've abandoned good storytelling.
And that is an issue. And one more person says, well, you don't understand. They're subverting expectations. No, they're really not. They're hitting the exact expectations I expect every single time now. You want to subvert my expectations? Give me a hero's journey.
To continue my analogy, the reason when you watch wrestling and a match ends in a dusty finish and everyone groans was because dusty finish subverted, or when it originally happened, subverted everyone's expectation, popped huge. Mm-hmm. But it was overdone. It was done everywhere, and then it kept being done for 20, 30 years on WCW television.
Which is why WCW died.
Which is what killed WCW. We've seen this. We know we're expecting this subversion.
We expect
it's Go back to good storytelling. Go back to the hero's journey.
And you know what? You might be able to salvage something of what you had. I
mean,
really doubt it though.
I like the like I can't speak too much because I like Evangelion. Evangelion is a deconstruction, but it deconstructs and then it reconstructs, and you do get the hero's journey.
Yep.
With Shinji Ikari. Eventually,
it happens.
Eventually, it's waited 30 years, but we got the hero's journey. We got the complete hero's journey,
and I was
and
right.
we always knew that it was coming.
And I was right.
And you can go fuck yourself.
I was right. I knew
Where
he was
the
gonna.
hell did Mari come from?
I didn't know, but I knew it wasn't gonna be anyone from the original series. It was gonna be some random ass add-on. Fucking knew it. I could tell.
Like, I figured you were gonna be right when I was reading the end of the manga, right? And the manga in the multiverse theory, which was proved true, is the first iteration. And then like the epilogue of the manga goes back before Second Impact, and oh look, there's Mari, and she's one of Yui's classmates. What the shit? Why?
Why not?
Why Anno and Sadamoto? Why?
Because he needs a mommy figure. That's why. And it wasn't going to be Asuka, and it wasn't going to be.
Well, Rei is the mommy figure.
No, Rei is the angel figure.
Rei is
I know the clone of
Rei is literally Lilith, the mother of humanity. Rei is also the Yamato Nadeshiko taken to the perfect Japanese woman taken to its absurd extreme.
Which is why it was never going to happen.
Exactly.
That's all I have for DC news, but I do have something interesting. So do we have an article on the Eternals, or did I not send one?
You did not send one.
Okay, so those of you who don't know, Eternals.
I know that came out in mixed reviews, to say the least.
Let's say bad reviews. Well, there's no mix about it. It ended poorly.
Yeah, I've heard. It's weird. The audience score was higher on Rotten Tomatoes than the critic score.
Check again, because when the audience score was locked at 1,000 reviews for a good over the entire weekend for some unknown reason.
But it was still only 50. It was still only 56%, which is not good.
No, it's not very good. But for some unknown reason, only 1,000 people were able to go and put in reviews. Weird. Huh. I wonder how that happened.
And the critics panned it, and it was like, well, we knew that was one of these was going to get panned eventually.
Well, I did see Eternals. I will say that. I did go to the theater and I watched it.
Oh, you went to a theater? Oh, shit.
It was terrible.
I could have told you it was going to be terrible. But
well, I knew it was going to be bad because the trailers you saw were boring. They were stiff.
We were seeing a trailer for the Eternals like when I was over at my buddy's house watching Bad Batch, and I fell asleep to the trailer. If you fall asleep during a trailer, you failed.
It is a very the trailer stuff is very boring, very jarring, very uninterested, very uninteresting.
It's jarring and uninteresting, and that's a failure.
What's really interesting, what's really jarring about it is it's a Marvel superhero flick, but this is the least amount of color I've seen in a Marvel flick since Captain America, First Avenger, like the very first Captain America flick, which was set in 1940s and was supposed to be very drab colored because everyone's in army greens until he puts on the blue outfit, and then color, woo ha! But until then, it's a very drab looking trailer. Iron Man, exact opposite. Started off very, very drab, and then you get the red and gold Iron Man outfit. Thor, big blue, sparkly stuff. Like every other Marvel,
everything else is colorful because exciting.
It has a colorful, exciting moment. Eternals was drab, brown, and stayed that way for the entirety of it. One. Two. The marketing on this is so high, and they are getting nothing of it back.
Yeah.
They have Eternals Happy Meal toys. I was when I was at DerpyCon. I I went over and got McDonald's one day because it was like 11 a.m. and I was, or not, it was like 1 p.m. and I was hungry, and the closest thing was McDonald's. I just walked down the road. I'm like, I'm going to grab McDonald's real fast. I have to do a panel in like an hour. I don't have time to sit down and eat. So I ran over and I grabbed something, and the weird part about that was I saw a kid there with his Happy Meal toy. And he pulls out one of the Eternal toys, and he's just looking at it like confused, and he's staring
What is
at
this?
He doesn't know what it is. And then like the Happy Meal, like the box is just the Eternal characters. They're all scowling, and I'm like, this isn't a very good Happy Meal. Like, there's nothing happy about this meal.
There's nothing happy.
It's just angry meal.
Yeah, at least with superheroes, you might not see them scowling, but they're always like, ah, or they're happy.
Yeah, they're either happy or they're powerful. But in this one, they're just angrily staring over you, and I'm like, that looks obnoxious. So I couldn't figure out why this Marvel superhero thing was so drab and colorless and so serious. And then we found out that the director got her inspiration from Man of Steel, the Superman DCEU movie. And you couldn't even pick a good DCEU movie. You picked the bad one.
I liked Man of Steel.
It's
an acquired taste, and it is way too goddamn serious for what
it is. A very serious movie.
But it was supposed to, like, it was launched, like, part of the problem with Man of Steel was it was trying too hard to be the Superman version of The Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's not.
And Batman is serious, but Superman can't be.
Superman can be serious, but he should be a beacon of hope.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a beacon of hope, and this was not. Man of Steel was not a beacon of hope.
No, it was.
It did have a bunch of little things I liked about it. Like,
no, there were a bunch of little things that were like, oh, that's helpful. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then there were lots of other things to be going, oh, he fucked up there. Oh, he fucked up there. Oh, no. Oh, you killed the guy in front of everyone.
Yeah, Superman doesn't do that.
You kill people away from everyone, Superman, so that no one knows that you did it. They can assume.
They can assume.
But no one actually watches you do it.
Yeah.
Until you go full evil.
They know you did it, but they can lie to themselves.
Exactly. If they watch you do it, they can't lie to themselves. So that was an ongoing issue. So one of the reasons why it failed was that. The other reason why it failed, because no one really knows who the Eternals are.
Yeah, no one knows who the Eternals are. I had to look them up.
It's an old Jack Kirby comic.
Yeah.
And I mean real old.
When I woke up from falling asleep from the trailer, I asked my buddy who's real deep into the comics lore, like, who the hell are the Eternals? And he said, oh, it's Jack Kirby masturbating. It's like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, essentially, it was his own version of doing Avengers, but having more fun with it. And they're all robots and whatever. It's a whole thing. So it's an old Kirby comic that doesn't really make much sense. He probably did it while high, honestly. And then you watch this thing, and everyone's all sniffing the farts on it. He's like, oh, there's gay people, and they're in there together, and I go, they're robots.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that they're robots? Who the hell cares? Oh, yeah. It's two men kissing. Who the fuck? They're robots. I don't give a fuck if my toaster's on top of my blender.
Yeah,
I mean, I care a little bit.
There was controversy on Twitter. Like, Jolie was throwing a fit because, oh, this film's banned in the Mid East. It shouldn't be banned in the Mid East.
It's two guys kissing. It's the Middle East. What were you expecting?
Yeah, what were you expecting? It's the Mid East.
And the numbers that the media was getting for these things wasn't even from like the expectations of the actual studios. They were getting it from some random dude on the internet.
Oh boy!
So like we expect $1 million. So like speculators say $1 million. I go, or $100 million. I go, who are the speculators?
Yeah,
it's some random dude who works at AMC. That's what I mean, more or less. It was some like one Twitter account was where they were getting all their numbers
Matt
from.
Drudge back before the Lewinsky trials, when he was just a dude in the mailroom, was more accurate
I'm just saying.
because he actually had sources. He wasn't just pulling shit out of his ass.
So, and so that was going on, and then like the week before, they're like, oh, it'll heroically hit 89 million, and we're like, is this because you're banned in the Middle East and China refuses to go and play this because they don't like the director? Yeah, and then when it finally released, it was like, oh, it's soaring at 70 million. I go, you lost 19 million there. Where'd your numbers go?
Yeah, you keep lowering expectations here. And how much did you spend on marketing again?
Couple $100 million.
And you're not going to make it back in foreign sales like most of the other mediocre movies do?
I'll be honest with you, Eternals was just a bad movie. It's they completely broke their hero's journey idea, where it's it's a little lighthearted, it's serious, but you have your moments where you can laugh and enjoy it. But they took all of this time and effort to build the MCU, right?
Yeah.
Years, 10 plus years, right?
Yeah, 10 plus years. And that gave time for us to both twists and turns and traditional story building.
Yes, and they decided, no, on this one we're just gonna throw all that shit right out the window.
It's gonna override a lot of what you already know.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this isn't good. It's not a bad movie, but it's the worst Marvel flick I've ever seen, and I've seen Thor 2.
I like Thor: The Dark World.
It was awful. I mean, I like it too, but it's still a bad flick. It's a good 6 out of 10.
It's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie. Eternals is a good 4 because it's 3 hours, and a good 2 hours of it is exposition you don't need, and the other 30 minutes is random gay sex scenes. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, it's not a very good movie. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And again, Eternals was probably not the right thing to try and do this with. One, no one knew what it was.
Yeah,
no one knew what Shang-Chi was, but at least we went, okay, it's a martial arts flick.
It's a martial arts flick and ties into Iron Man. Okay.
Cool.
I still need to see Shang-Chi, but at least you could sell it.
Yeah. Eternals, everyone, what is this? Oh, they didn't tie it into anything.
Yeah, it wasn't tied into anything.
And it was just like some random thing. And you're like, what is this? What is this random thing? We're gonna release it worldwide. It'll make millions of dollars. Why would you think that? There's no name appeal to the Eternals.
This is this is kind of a sign that we're kind of on the downward slope or near the bottom of the superhero movie era. Because you start getting stuff like that at the end of the era.
Pretty much.
Like this, like the end of the era. It's way too experimental. You're not trading on no names anymore. But you still expect the same success.
There are plenty of superheroes to use, though. You still have the X-Men. You still have... I mean, if you
have the X-Men, and you own the X-Men in the MCU now. And you have guys who do X-Men movies who might be willing to come back for one last tie-in movie.
Why not?
If you pay them enough. And people would pay to go see it. I would pay to see Hugh Jackman in an MCU Wolverine movie.
I would too. You've still got Shield. You could just do an Agents of Shield thing. Yeah. I'd be fine with that. A spy thriller with superheroes. Woo.
Well, they already did that, but it did really well.
It did really well as a series.
It did bonkers at the blah 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 blah. It did blockbuster numbers at the box office, and it damn near got Oscar nods because it was that good. Well, you put Robert Redford as a villain in your movie, and he does a really good performance. You're going to get an Oscar nod,
probably.
The only reason it did it was superhero.
Oscars, where if you aren't artsy enough, we don't give a fuck. Oh, you have two lesbians making out under an umbrella for 35 minutes? Yeah, that's Oscar worthy. Oh, you make it a really good, insightful movie that was great and made millions of dollars? Booby.
Too actiony.
Bruce Willis? Nah.
Although Dark Knight got Oscar nods, but that's because what's his face was already a known.
Heath Ledger or
Not Heath Ledger was already known, and what the director? I'm blanking on his name.
Nolan.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan was already known as an Oscar-winning director.
Yeah,
so they actually took it seriously, despite the fact it was Batman.
Anyway, so Eternals is a boring flick. If you want to go watch it, wait until it's on Disney Plus. Is my answer to you. It's not worth the $13 at the theater. It's not worth it. You're better off waiting and checking out Lupin the Third this week.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the thing.
Yeah, that is the thing. Or watching the My Hero Academia flick if it's still in theaters.
If it's still in theaters.
What highlights just that. But Eternals, boring. It is a boring flick. Apparently Tim Pool walked out on it. When Tim Pool says, "I don't like this," and walks out, you've got a bad movie.
I heard he walked out of Dune, though.
See, I like... Okay, Dune. I'll explain to you Dune. Dune is made for people who already know Dune.
Point. And it's really hard to adapt that book successfully into
That's a lie.
movie.
It was done well once in the 80s already.
No, it wasn't. That was not a good movie.
It was a great movie. Especially the giant vagina whale in the very beginning for no reason.
The problem with Dune, and I'm not I love the first book. The second book can suck my dick, and it's because of that
is just so long.
And because of that, I haven't read the rest of the series. But the first book's kind of nuts because it's, for those that don't know, Frank Herbert was assigned to write an article on sand dunes, for an ecology magazine. And he studied them studied them, got distracted, and wrote Dune instead of the article.
That's exactly how my vampire story is coming along. I'm just this is I'm going to write a vampire story, and I'm sitting there going this is turning to Warehouse 13 somewhere along the way. When people just go, "This is just Warehouse 13," go, "I know," is going to be my response. I know, but with vampires.
Oh Lord.
And wizards.
So Dune's kind of unique because it's somehow out of that it still manages to mostly be an ecology book, textbook, but with good storytelling. Interesting characters. So it's hard to adapt that to film because it's so dense with how desert ecology works. And you can't portray that on film without just ripping off Lawrence of Arabia. Which Dune does.
Which is what the first flick did.
Except let me rephrase that. It's an ecology textbook combined with Lawrence of Arabia. Because Paul Atreides is T.E. Lawrence. It's a young T.E. Lawrence.
Oh yeah, and again,
it's Lawrence of Arabia in space.
So if you are someone who's never read Dune or has no clue about what Dune is, don't go watch Dune. My answer is don't go watch it. It's not a movie for you. I'm very sorry. This movie was not made for you.
Yeah, go read Dune, and if you enjoy it, go watch Dune.
In other news,
I'd be amazed.
If you want a sci-fi flick that you're gonna love and a book that made out of a book, use Starship Troopers and never read the book. Never read the book. Stick with the book is nothing like the movie.
Well, that's because they were trying to mock the shit out of the book.
But the movie was so good, I loved it, and then I went,
it backfired.
And I'm like, I have to read the book, and I went, and that's how I became a libertarian. That was it.
You hated the book that much, you became a libertarian?
I loved the book that much, I became a libertarian, because I'm like, because I was also in war at the time. So I was reading the book while at war going, yeah.
That sounds like the opposite of my experience reading Atlas Shrugged. I'm reading Atlas Shrugged. It's just like, fuck everybody. They're coming to right conclusions, but the process is fucked up. What the shit? Get a moral backbone. Find God. Somebody.
It's true. If you just rely on what causes you pleasure, you become a slave to those pleasures. You must have a moral background and some kind of form of discipline to keep you from going completely off the walls.
Yes.
Which is kind of the point of Starship Troopers.
And that's why everyone who doesn't get that calls it fascist.
It's because they look at at Neil Patrick Harris and that nice little outfit when he goes, "It's afraid," and I go, "That was never in the book."
So anyway, speaking of militarism, last thing.
I've been playing the Gundam game and I enjoy the crap out of it.
I forgot about that. Is that good?
It's cute girls doing cute things, and those cute things are destroying the evil Federation for the rights of Zeon, Zeke Zeon.
Okay, so it's good. Okay.
I like it.
In other rampant militarism, I got something I forgot about that I ordered 3 years ago in the mail today.
Oh, Expendables. You have like 3 minutes to talk about it. I have to do laundry.
Expendables, go to hell. Got in the mail. Quick review. It's I wouldn't say it's a good story, but it's an awesome story.
It's a fun story, and
I think. What was my reaction as I was going through it?
It was New Jersey's hell, and I go, yeah, I already knew that.
Well, everything else is just like picture of like something awesome that happens in it, dude.
So
like
it's
like
a
repentant Benedict Arnold leading the army, the resistance in hell. It's like, yes, with his generals Marshal Ney, Ulysses S. Grant, and Crazy Horse. And then the Expendables are saved by a joint cavalry charge by Custer and Crazy Horse. I'm like, yes! And all the villains from all the Expendable movies pop up.
Sounds like a fun thing.
It's great. I mean, the first cool moment they give away, it's like, oh yeah, they wake up in hell and there's Audie Murphy.
All right. Well, you still have homework to do, which is beating Berseria.
Yes. Oh, I gotta write that for
Zenkai-Con. Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Okay. I'm gonna send a bunch of stuff to Zenkai-Con too. So, all right. This has been the Geek-Posium. My name is Darren Silver of HentaiCake.com. Pay attention because we will have new sets up this week, guys.
Finally.
Well, I've been busy with work. I had DerpyCon, and then my promotion happened, and they changed my schedule around. And I've had 2 days off, and I went, I'm going to sleep and enjoy my life for like once.
Yeah, I've also been busy with work, prepping for law school. The 2 days I had off were exclusively D&D and the NASCAR playoffs. Let's go, Brandon, by the way.
I play.
Now, you determine if it's political or related to my shirt. Who's the driver who won that race at Talladega?
Which is great news. Way to go, Brandon. Way to go, Brandon. I still need my Cornholio t-shirt.
Where's your flag?
I have to put it back up. I have a bunch of stuff I'm doing.
No, not your old Gadsden flag.
My new one. Yeah, I have to put it up. I'm also looking at new apartments. I have to move in like a month or two. So I'm taking everything off the walls. Yeah.
Oh boy.
My lease is up at the end of the year. So anyway,
Anyways.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
I have